Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Hydrant. Nikki Jacobs is here finally with me today. Thank you for doing this.
Oh, absolutely. I have wanted to do it for so long. It looks like so much fun. And I just had to be a part of it.
Nikki's probably one of the first VO talent that I started writing letters to about what does this mean and what are they talking about? And Nikki was gracious enough just to answer my questions and tell me what was going on. So I feel very connected to her, and she was part of my startup. So it's great.
Yeah, I feel very connected to you because when I first started working with Corey Disson doing marketing, you were the first person to respond. You know how he puts out that thing for new people,
right?
Hey, everybody, be gracious to the new member of the Go Get It Nation. And
Right.
You were the first. And I was like, and you were just so easy to communicate with. I mean, you're just such a great down to earth guy.
I need you to tell my wife that, the easy to communicate with part, because sometimes it doesn't come out. So. Well,
I'll let her know.
Nikki, of course, is the sound you like to be around. You can look her up on NikkiJacobs.com. She's experienced in everything: theater, improv, comedy, independent film, voiceover, including commercials, animation, audiobook narration. She grew up in grew up in Illinois.
Illinois, Galesburg.
Galesburg.
Yeah.
And now is an LA resident with her actor husband, Nathan Inzerillo.
Oh, thank you for mentioning him as well.
Well, Nikki, and
he doesn't get much attention, so I'm just kidding.
We're going to talk about a couple things that really interested me, because Nikki's been acting since she was 2, and she's just had the bug. But you were a history major.
Yeah,
What happened?
Well, no, I was both. I was a theater major and a history major.
Okay.
And it's kind of a weird thing about me. As much as I am into acting, I am also into politics and history. I love all that stuff. And yeah, so I had flirted with the idea of being a lawyer for just about half a second. So I thought maybe, put the history in there too, but it just never happened. I just
had the acting bug.
I just kept auditioning for more stuff.
Nikki and her husband have done a couple of things. One is a very funny little film called Lynette and Belinda.
I can't believe you have seen
that. That's on YouTube. And you're watching this going, uh-oh, I don't know what's happening here. But it is so funny, because there are certain lines in there I just like burst out laughing. So go out on YouTube, look it up. She and her husband wrote it, produced it, directed it, star in it. It's worth going to watch. Just go watch
thank you, Jim, for watching it. Yeah, it was just a weird little thing that came out of our brains, and we were like, let's just do it. Let's keep going with it, and yeah, so we did that. We're planning on hopefully doing another one, like kind of a sequel.
Awesome.
But awesome. That takes a little time. So
oh yeah, that takes some effort.
Hopefully we'll have that time in the near future.
Well, the other thing that you guys do is the Theater Couch podcast, which was a 2022 nominee in Voice Arts Award World for Outstanding Podcast, Arts and Entertainment, Best Producer or Host. It's a very cool little series you can see on, we can see it on LinkedIn, but it is a podcast, so you can go out into the podcast world and watch episodes of it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We're on Buzzsprout. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeartRadio. So, yeah, it's available. It's not hard to find.
What's your favorite show?
Live theater? Oh, wow. Oh, boy. What's coming to mind right off the bat are August Wilson plays. I love his work. we just covered Ma Rainey's Black Bottom in the first season of this, or the first episode of this season. I've seen that on stage a couple times. I'm trying to think of like, I'm a big fan of comedy. And so this sounds a little cliche because he's absolutely so popular, but I love Neil Simon. I'm a sucker for Neil Simon.
Yeah.
I was in Lost in Yonkers, and that was like just such a great experience. So yeah, those are some that come immediately to mind. I'm also a big fan of musicals. We've even toyed around with the idea of trying to do some musicals on the show and talk about those.
Right.
So I'm a huge fan of Grease because I love music from the 1950s.
Bye, Birdie.
So this is like a wide array. I realize that I'm going from August Wilson to Grease.
That's okay.
But it's interesting, like what hits people. And for me, I love great stories, and I love a play where I have a chance to really get to know about like a character's vulnerabilities and what makes them tick. And so those are like August Wilson, Neil Simon. I mean, those are two playwrights that just absolutely lay it out on the line for you with characters.
Right. All right. Let me ask you some of these goofy questions.
Oh, I'm ready for it.
And you say that now. What song should play every time you walk into a room?
Wouldn't It Be Nice by the Beach Boys. One of my favorite songs ever. When I'm not feeling great, I put on that song. Brightens, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know, that song is also kind of surreal, and it's nostalgic.
Well, Beach Boys always make you feel better. I mean, you can put just about any Beach Boys on it, it's going to make you feel better.
Yeah, they're great. They're great. So,
what are you most likely to eat after a stressful day?
Ooh, I'm a sucker for potato chips. I love potato chips.
That's my kryptonite.
And I know every time I'm eating them, I'm not supposed to be. They're not great. I remember I had a doctor once that was like, potato chips are terrible for you.
They are, but they're so tasty.
They're so good, So it's like, it's one of those things that I always kind of have in my back pocket for like giving myself a treat.
What movie would be greatly improved if it was made into a musical?
Oh, wow. The recent Top Gun sequel, I think, is one of the crappiest movies I've ever seen.
Oh, wow. Oh, I know the letters coming in now.
And it got nominated for an Academy Award, but I don't know how. I think it's overacted, overwritten, too full of itself. I don't care. I never cared to see a sequel of the first one. So I'm sorry, Tom Cruise. I love Tom Cruise. I love his acting, but this was not meant to be. But I think it would be awesome as a musical because he has a really great voice.
What breed of dog would you be?
Ooh, golden retriever, I think.
I can see that.
Okay, that scares me that you see me as a dog, but
I know the personality of the golden retriever, and I can see those two personalities being very close. So
yeah, I mean, generally speaking, I'm a fairly calm person, like to get along with people, but I am very big on my hair. I like my hair to look nice, and I think a golden retriever has splendid hair.
Yes, it does.
So, I mean, they're just awesome.
Very good. What Looney Tunes character best represents you?
Bugs Bunny. Because I can be such a shithead. And so I have a rascal aspect to my personality. I can be really individual, and and Bugs Bunny is just so witty and wonderful. So why wouldn't I want to be Bugs Bunny?
Okay. What food will you absolutely not eat under any circumstances?
Liver. Oh, you're a liver liker, huh?
No, I can't stand it. I can't
Okay, so
stand
we
it.
have that in
That would
common.
absolutely, but there's a question that's coming later that'll make that very interesting.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay.
Who would play you in a movie about your life?
I see Lily Taylor. Do you know Lily Taylor?
Oh, wow. That's a
Yeah.
good pick.
I love her style of acting. I think I don't know. I don't know exactly how she approaches her roles, how she prepares, but I would imagine it's a similar preparation.
She
I
was
just
so good in Mystic Pizza.
Oh gosh, she's a terrific actress. So
In
of
my
course I'm
mind,
gonna pick a terrific actress.
well, of course.
I'm not gonna pick the worst. But I think that like our experience in life is similar. She's from Illinois. She's smaller. She's kind of on the smaller side. She's I think kind of had to fight a little bit for what
Right.
she has, which is similar to me.
Yeah, no, she's got the energy. She's got the chops, and it's just
Oh, she's wonderful.
yeah.
She's one
No,
of my
that's a good
favorites.
answer.
Yeah.
If you were an ice cream flavor, what would you be?
I love chocolate, but I find myself a lot of times veering toward like anything berry flavored. And I like sorbet and sherbet and that kind of thing too. So yeah, like a raspberry. I love raspberries.
That would be good. A nice vanilla raspberry swirl kind of thing.
Oh, I would love that. I'm gonna have that today. I think now that you've mentioned that, it's like
once the Star Trek transporter is perfected, where is the first place you would go?
Italy. Yeah.
Have you been there before?
I've never been there. My husband is Italian American, but that's not the only reason. I've always loved Italian culture. And I love their food. And I think I would get along really well there. I have a feeling that if I went there, I might not leave. Because they just love life and they take it in. They take the time
Right.
to take it in. And
That's
they
cool.
have perfected certain aspects of life that I think everybody just, is so inspired by and emulates. Yeah. Like food is everything to them. And I just think that's something.
I love the cuisine. So it's so good.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's your favorite curse word?
Fuck, definitely.
There's number one answer. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a, what do I want to say? It's like, I think it's part of every human being's soul, that word. Eventually, you're going to say it. Eventually, things are going to get to the point where you have to say it. And it's such a release to say it.
All right, let's do some either or things. I'll give you two things and you tell me what your preference is.
Okay.
This first was an absolute, well, maybe it's not a no-brainer. Live theater or movies?
Oh, that's so hard. Live theater.
No internet or no running water?
No internet. Yeah, that's
surprised.
Oh my gosh, really? Oh, don't tell me that. Okay, no, I gotta have water.
Bananas or watermelon?
Watermelon, absolutely.
Library or museum?
Museum.
Flintstones or the Jetsons?
Flintstones. Yeah.
Toilet paper, over or under?
Over. Yes.
Beatles or Rolling Stones?
Beatles, hands down.
I had the suspicion that was going to be your answer.
Really?
Yeah, I
Really?
was looking at that going, she's going to be a Beatles person.
I am, even though I really respect the Rolling Stones. I think they're
Sure.
awesome. But I've been a Beatles fan since I was a teenager. So, yeah.
Bewitched or I Dream of Jeannie?
Ooh. Bewitched. Yeah.
Dark chocolate or red wine? Pick one.
Dark chocolate. I'm not much of a drinker. Yeah.
Oh, okay. You'd be surprised the number of people that can't pick one because they go together.
They do go together. Yeah.
So.
And I like red wine, but I really like chocolate. Yeah. I like that experience.
Oh, no question there. What superpower would you rather have? Invisibility or shape-shifting?
Ooh. Invisibility. Yeah, I'd like to spy on a few people in my life. Find out what's up their sleeve.
I understand that.
It sounds so like suspicious, doesn't it? But I know I have that side too. I'm like, sometimes I'm like, I need a little more information here. Yeah.
Would you rather lose the ability to read or lose the ability to speak?
I'd rather lose the ability to. Wow, that is a tough one. I'm gonna say read because I feel like in the end you may have to ask for help or something. You might need your voice for something. And
there's always audiobooks.
That's true. That's the real reason for audiobooks. Because people are going to lose their ability to read.
Right. So.
Yeah, I think I chose the right one then. Thanks.
I think you did.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, here's another one to make your skin crawl. Would you rather give up your cell phone for a month or bathing for a month?
I could easily give up my cell phone for a month. And then I guess that means my agent will have to call me. Well, wait, I don't have a phone. We have a landline though. So.
And that's fine.
But no, I can't give up bathing. I'm one of those people, like, I can't stand even going a day without that.
Would you rather have all traffic lights you approach be green or never have to stand in line again?
I'm going to say the traffic lights because I have a tendency sometimes to be running late. And, oh man.
Okay.
I appreciate those green lights at those moments.
Okay. Would you rather have to eat liver for the rest of your life?
Okay.
Or be forced to watch an episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians every day?
I could handle the Kardashians if it meant I didn't have to
eat liver.
Yeah. And my view toward them has softened just a little bit because
Why?
I'm on that masterclass thing.
Okay.
I pay for that because I want to see famous people teaching me stuff. But Kris, the mom, Kris Kardashian, has a branding class on there that is not bad. It's pretty good.
That's not a surprise because that's all she's ever done.
That's all she's ever, she's become an expert. So I'm like, okay, I can, they're not so terrible. But yeah, I know the show is pretty superficial.
You think?
But hey, superficial I can deal with if I don't have to eat liver. Please, never.
I think I'd have to agree with you as much as I can't stand either one of them. It's just, Would you rather have whatever you are thinking appear in a bubble above your head for everyone to read,
Uh-huh.
or have absolutely everything you do be live streamed for everyone to see?
I'll take the live stream because I can sort of still mask some things that I don't want people to know. I still have that ability. I don't have to talk during the live stream necessarily, but no, I don't want my thoughts telegraphed to everybody.
As PJ Oakland said, those possibilities are the 7th and 8th circle of hell. So just like they're horrible questions.
They are. They are. But there'd be people that would jump at the chance to have their life live streamed.
And many people do. I mean, we're live streaming most of our lives anymore anyway. So
yeah.
So if not YouTubing them and Instagramming them and that kind of thing. So
But you have more control with that, obviously.
This is true. Although some people have said the bubble because they feel they can manipulate their thoughts to have other people do their bidding. So there's true evil out there that could be used.
Oh my gosh. I feel like I'm not in control of my thoughts.
I'm not either.
So yeah, don't need that displayed.
Someone came up to you and say, I really want to be an actor. I really love the stage. What is the first thing you would tell them to do?
I'm going to say acting class because I think that people do need to understand the process of developing a character, working off of other people with written material. Although it would not be a mistake to walk into an improv class and learn how to improv.
Right.
Either. It's just that I think that acting class kind of fine-tunes everything and helps you understand yourself as an actor, like understand what you're bringing to the table.
Right.
Improv can do that for you too. The problem is that a lot of improv is geared toward being funny, which great, but I think acting class is going to give you a more overall picture of what you are doing.
And it's interesting you say that because when I think of improv and, going out and doing a scene or something, I always feel there is that extra pressure there to try to be funny. And it doesn't necessarily have to be.
No, it doesn't. I mean, there is dramatic improv. One of the improv places that I worked at and studied at had a dramatic improv class, and it's not done as much because a lot of times, they're trying to produce really good, fun entertainment for people at the school, that they eventually put into a show. And there is that, I guess, focus on being funny.
Right.
But but you can't try to be funny. You just, even when that is something that everybody is sort of hoping happens, you can't manufacture it. You just still have to play the scene and work off of what you're given, which is why improv and acting just go so well together. And it's actually how I learned how to act when I was a little kid. My acting teacher would tell us, okay, here's the fairy tale that we're working on. And then we would go up on stage and she'd give us a little situation and we would come up with our own lines in the situation. So I basically learned how to act that way. And I do think it's great for, pulling from your imagination. But, I would tell somebody, take an acting class, and when you're in that for a few months, if you're interested in pursuing improv, do it, because it does make you a more honest actor, I think, to do improv.
And to translate that over into just strictly voiceover, to segment it a little bit, it becomes critical, because that you've got to be that character. You got to be able to relate emotionally as that character. And you do audiobooks, and it's just that that to me is the aspect that is most sorely missed by so many people who try to break into audiobooks. They think it's just sitting and reading. And
right. It's acting.
Right.
I call it book acting. It's book acting. I mean, you're still using the same techniques of exploring a character and asking yourself questions about that character and finding the answers as you go, making choices. But what improv really helps with is not thinking too much, because you can't in improv. You can't, spend too much time in your head. And it puts you in the moment. It helps you learn how to really capitalize on the moment. And I've had a lot of people ask me that question. People from my hometown area, people that my parents meet that have a kid that wants to be an actor, and they give me their email and I give them a little advice. And, I think a lot of them think that it's a lot about being famous and getting discovered.
Right.
And it isn't, but it's about putting yourself in a position where you are doing your best work, and you should always be working on stuff. Always,
it's like people that go into writing because they think they're going to be the next Stephen King or the next J.K. Rowling. I mean, the odds of that happening are just so infinitesimal that you've got to go into it because you love doing it,
right?
Not for the accolades behind it, because they may never come. There's a lot of great writers and even great actors who never get spotlighted, but they work consistently because they're so good at their craft.
Absolutely.
If I could think of one off the top of my head, I would, but my brain's not working. So,
well, I think, I think Lily Taylor actually is a good example.
Great example.
She's not an A-list celebrity, but people, I'm sure, are very secure about putting her in their projects because she delivers great work.
Right.
She takes it seriously. She's trained.
I see James Spader in the same light, because you don't see him out hawking stuff and doing ads and that kind of thing. He's obviously very focused on his craft, regardless of the character he's at. He just does wonderful work.
He does. He's terrific. Yeah, and he's been that way from the beginning. He was a standout from the beginning. You saw that this is somebody who really walks the walk.
Thank you for doing this.
Oh, I totally enjoyed it. I love getting to talk about acting and the craft and storytelling and all those things. So and loved getting to finally meet you, even though it is still,
it's still electronic, but we're getting closer.
But we're getting closer.
You can look up Nikki at nikkijacobs.com. Look out for the Theater Couch podcast. Go out to YouTube and watch Lynette and Belinda, because it's just a hoot. It's funny that she and her husband Nathan and Zerillo did. And once again, thank you for doing this. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Jim, for having me. It was an absolute pleasure.
Thank you for watching and listening, and we'll see you again next time on The Hydrant.
Bye.